And hello, everyone. Another Monday, another episode in this beautiful series named Grooming with a Positive Mental Attitude. Today, we're going to talk about the problems. You have a problem that's good, actually, it's great. How the problem can be great is actually something we need to understand in order to move on through this positive mental attitude challenge. Because everything we do in a life, will be the action will be something we need to do. For example, there was a great book named Think and Grow Rich, and now the people are there is the great kind of wrote by Napoleon Hill. The, the he was like a first new age westerner philosophy self-help guy that was writing all of these books, uh, and the first of them was Think and Grow Rich. And then that was already so far sold in like 20 million copies, and it's a bestseller. The book number one, always rated as a self-help book. And then he said, like, why the people experience failure trying to introduce this concept. And then you have that was also westernized Bible, because this when we live in this world where we want to possess things, we want to buy, we want to kind of live this material life. So we kind of get to its fullness to understand that actually happiness can be found if we possess the things, because that we already experienced. We tried to have, like, oh, if I would just make $10,000 a month, and then you make it and then nothing changed. And then you say, oh my God, if I would just make 100,000 and then nothing changed. Then if I would just become a millionaire, then somehow that millionaire mind occur in our mind and then nothing changed. So we kind of, and the men start to actually, well, not the man and woman and everyone else try to actually realizes how material richness can't give us a fulfillment and happiness that we think we're gonna have it once we do something. But in order to know it, we need to possess it first, because we can't just trust. We try, when you talk to someone and said, oh, money doesn't bring you happiness, then you say, okay, just give me 10,000 more and watch me happy. But until we do not actually possess everything we were thinking we will need, we will not be able to make ourselves understand that something more need to be done in order to experience fulfillment. And then finally, everything else in our life follows that pattern of success. That is why we kind of had all of that amazing idea of where the grooming and the working with the dogs always is challenged, is not in starting the business. It's not in starting the business, because starting the business have that desire. I want to start, I want to succeed, I want to make it, I want to learn it, I want to be nice to every single customer because I care about every single one. And then by doing that, faith, having a faith in that business, following that unconsciously desire of how you actually get successful, you need to follow the rule. So we need to follow the rule. Either we're going to follow the rule consciously, knowing what are the steps needed to be taken, or we're just going to take it. The effect wouldn't be the different sometime. So why I'm talking about this, let's get back to the Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. If you're thinking into the, and we do everything in a way of thinking, and we think and we put ourselves, we discipline our thoughts, we do our research, we do our gratitude, we understand who we are, we understand where we came from, we understand everything that's supposed to be a homework prior we act, we find this inner peace, and we do all of that. What happens actually with that inner selfness of ours, then finally we want to express that with the world. And there is one word that separates all the people. The only one word separates successful ones of the against the other ones that actually may be called failures. Failure, people that failed. How you call them? failures. It's only one thing that divides them. It's called action. And when we were working very close with the Napoleon Hill Foundation in order to get an access to some books that I translated to my native language, Serbia, and we formed like Napoleon Hill Institute in order to research how actually all of these way of his approach can actually help people achieve their ultimate life goal because before it's too late. So that was my purpose. And then by introducing and by having so much knowledge and so much the digging into this material way of approaching the life, because that is what the people are, that is what the science of now is actually approaching us, teaching us. Everything we do understand that world that we see around us is true, and only what we can see and what we can understand, that's only true. But then somehow every single one, when forced with that inner feeling of how do I approach this world around me, and I feel scared, or I feel challenged, or I feel unconnected with this world, then I kind of, and only if I can only judge the world against like what I can smell, taste, touch, or see, it just kind of doesn't give me that inner fulfillment. So once that experienced, only after that is experienced, and a question is raised, why this is not making me who I am to be, why all of these that I was taught it's gonna work is not working, why now when I became a millionaire, why now when I succeeded in this business, why I don't feel something the people told me, oh, it's coming on its way. And that's where Napoleon Hill said, in order to understand irrelevance of material richness, you need to have it first. And then you're going to be able to witness yourself. It's like a life experiment. Oh, it won't make it. Now I need to look and search for something different. And then this this other side of the story become how the soul and the spirit tends to cover themselves in the material way. So how we gonna start and make everything around us be our way after we discover who we really are. So now when we are starting our little business and we are having our grooming businesses in demand, and it's not about to start a business, it's about to survive the success. How I do the next step, how I gonna groom 10 dogs a day, how I gonna groom 11, how I gonna groom 12, how I gonna put 20 dogs a day without ruining my health and my business on its own. Because that's the problem. The 11th dog in a 10 dog structure business is a problem. That's a big problem. Who's gonna groom that 11th one? I can groom it by extend my day, or I can find someone, or I can fit more dogs in the same time frame. So I want to become quicker. And then the people think that, oh, I need to become quicker. I need to work more on the grooming techniques. So I can do 11 dogs instead of 10 in the same time frame. But then the question becomes, what I'm making myself to become. Am I becoming a machine? And then once you fit 11th dog, the question becomes, what are you going to do with the 12th one? What are you going to do with the 15th one? Then I say, okay, let's hire someone. Okay, let's hire someone. Now you have your business around your 10 dogs or 11 dogs. And now you need to pay someone for doing that 5 dogs. How are you going to make enough money for someone that does half your job a day by paying him enough money in order to make him be feeling worthy and wanting to stay at your business? So what happens is actually how the often businesses develop is by hurting the primary business. So I'm going to take out of my pocket and my money, and I'm going to pay that person. So he's going to do 5 dogs now, but I see he's coming long way. So he's going to do 5 dogs in time to come. But when that happens, usually what happens with the groomers that we teach and coach and nourish, actually they feel that inner calling for the selfness and to do the same thing we did, and they move on, and they go away from our shop, usually taking those clients, and then again we are back on track. Try again, I'm hurted, I'm this, I'm that. But no, it's not how it should be done, because that's approaching the problem with a negative mental attitude. Poor me. And when I put myself in if I discover the world that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, if I discover the world of victimhood in myself, that kind of person I'm gonna attract to myself. So they're gonna keep helping me have a mirror of what I believe about myself. It's true. So they're gonna keep helping me experience my inner truth by leaving it outside. And then again another friendship, again another way of approaching the business relationship, where every single one of them is putting me in place of victim, until I do not start looking at challenges and problems with a positive mental attitude, asking how this helps my growth. Napoleon Hill was, when he was talking about uh, this um, this philosophy, because uh, what actually people are kind of engaged in wanting to create bigger and better. Because once you say my shop is 10 dogs and I'm okay with that and I'm happy, I have a life, I have a dream job because I can fulfill everything. So what happens, and I'm okay, it can be okay for a couple of years, like 1-2 years, but then something else happens in ourselves, and that's that need for growth and expansion. And that is where the first problem in the business starting to occur. And why those problems are good? Because you need to fix it. You need to find a solution from the problem. And the solution for the problem is actually an exit from the problem and from the box. The problem on its own is a possibility that we exit of who we were into who we're going to become by by finding a solution for that problem. But you know what's very important as well? You need to find a solution by yourself. It's not something, and that's what, oh, I have 10 dogs a day. Well, how, and now I have people calling me, what should I do? And then you post that question on Facebook, and then you got 100 messages. The people wanting to help. And by people answering those questions to you, and you reading those questions, answers, you are starting to lose your precious time. Both of them. The best way, the real friend will tell you, figure it out how you're going to solve this yourself. Figure it out. And you know what's your best friend at that time? Again, would be a blank paper. A blank paper where you're going to write the problem and look at the problem and the blank paper. Look at it. It's materialize your problem. I miss $10,000. I want to buy something and I need $10,000. What example? I was just kind of okay. Let's not go into the money issue. Let's do things like I want to expand my business. I feel like I'm worth more. I want to raise prices. I want to kind of groom more dogs a day. I want to hire people. I don't know how. So by answering that question to yourself by yourself, it's going to be very much something that's going to happen in your mind that actually happens, that your consciousness is going to start shifting, because you don't have an answer to that problem yet. But if you keep searching, researching, learning about the topics related to the problem you have, dedicate your time to yourself. It's going to be something that will guide you from the old belief system and from the old way of understanding the business into the new possibilities. I had a very good, a very big businessman in Serbia. I watched his interview that create like almost like a couple of $100 billion worth of like a really great business model. And when the interview was going on, and they asked him like, what was the most difficult challenge, and he said, to overcome success. If I didn't die at the moment when I really got myself pushed to the corner, and it was either you're going to make it through, or you're going to physically die because you are not capable to do something that is on your way of salvation. The more we become aware of what our path and destiny in this world is, more challenging problems will be put on us as a heavy cross to take through the life. Only with what purpose? To solve them, to bring the new light, to kind of take a possibility and open and put other people in a place where they can kind of mirroring what you did, the process you made through, gonna go through their own process. So now, for example, you ask a question, what's the best way to pay the person, for example, and then you get like 20 questions. Oh, it's only percentage. Oh, it's only this. Oh, it's only that. Oh, I charge that. Oh, I do this, I do that. And then you kind of got confused. And usually what you get from that confusion, you're going to take an advice of someone because it was easy. You ask the question, and then the people took away their precious time. But that time and that answer brings in your life everything that they went through that they can't express in a simple words. Neither you can get impression of how they got to that position where they are actually giving you advice, that level of the consciousness where they're actually giving you advice from. And then you're going to take someone's advice that you think is the best and easiest to accomplish usually, and then you're going to put it in practice and oftentimes fail, if not immediately, later in time to come. Why? Because you didn't took time to connect with divine self that every one of us do possess. And only that divine self can give an answer to your problem, because that's your problem to fix it by yourself. And once you fix it by yourself, you kind of open a completely new horizon, meeting your new self. Back to the point of the Napoleon Hill, he said, listen to this, and I can completely identify with this, what he said. Not in that state mindset, because he said like, the biggest challenge of my life that I converted from the look like a life defeated me at that stage, and I turned it into a victory, was when I was 9 years old boy, and when my mother died. So now I have son and daughter, so I saw them growing, and I remember them of that age, and I just can't imagine from them going through that kind of experience. Then thanks God they didn't. I didn't myself. My mom just passed away like 40 days ago, like a little more than like a month ago. And also I see the shoes where he actually is coming from. He said like, that was the most challenging time of my life that actually brought the biggest light of my life to my life. Why? Because then his father remarried, and the stepmother that came into his home, starting to nourishing him, was the woman that raised him into the mindset of you can, you are worthy, you are made to do a big things for this world, and you're gonna make it. So he said, if my mother, following her destiny, wouldn't let a place that was full, that was filled by another woman who took and nourished me, I would never become the person writing this book to you. So now, when I recall that to my life, my personal experience, when my mother died, I was kind of I had this positive mental attitude, grooming with the positive mental attitude, in my mind, like for years, and also more products to bring to the light, more projects to bring to the life, and everything of that with only one purpose that I finally see appearing on horizon. In entire my life, I didn't know. I didn't know why I'm doing all of this. I knew it where it comes from, and I was doing it, as I shared through this my little life experience, in order to save myself. But once I'm saved, it's not enough. It's not enough to survive this life. We need to live this life. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. As I was to keep telling over these things, like we can survive, like we can survive like 10 years more, 100 years more. They can invent like something that we take this pill and you're gonna live forever. What for? What for? To eat little more pizzas, to watch little more movies, to do little more self-illness things in order to, make myself be exposed to more pleasure of this world, so I can finally say I enjoyed living. The joy of the living is a reward for the destiny fulfillment. So I do my job, and then the God says, yes, you want more? And then you said, no, I don't want more. I need more. Give me more, because I need more. What for? To buy more pizzas, to watch more movies, to have more money stacked and stashed in the, like hermits in the bank accounts. What for? Give me more so I can give me more so I can invest more. Give me more so I can expand. Give me more so I can touch more people. Give me more so I can keep doing what I'm doing good. Give me more so I can keep fulfilling my destiny even more, until the time doesn't come that I need to say that was worthy of living. No matter, and then it becomes irrelevant. Did we live 40 years, 50 years, 70 years? Which plague we went away from? Which disease our body suffered from? So we just transcended from one world to the other. Then it doesn't matter. And then at that point, when we kind of realized that, I always knew, and the people that are following, me from my first course that was like published 2012, when no online courses were out, I was having my passionate pool course. And the passionate pool course, when it was a 6-week online course, and the people were shocked that there is an online course that you can learn how to groom dogs online, and that, and here we come, like 20 years, like, or how many years later, 10 years later, here we come, like something new on a horizon of the technology appears, where you actually can do that. But now I'm doing this for free. But the passionate pool course, in order to have a platform to live stream those events, one show costed me $2,000, and we had 6-7 of them. So it was a big project back then. Also back then, I was telling to my students, you can't just groom dogs if that's not in line with your life purpose and destiny. That is how you make a magic out of grooming, because you are not doing it for the dollars. You are doing it because there is nothing you need to do in order to thrive through this life. But also you need to know why you are doing this. And in this series, Positive Mental Attitude, Grooming with a Positive Mental Attitude, I lay down the foundation of how it's to be here. through you every single time you have that little lecture by my thoughts. I'm sharing my thoughts with you, and then on the end of the every class or every podcast, every event, I give a little homework that every one of us need to take it into the week, and then make it happen, and then see what's gonna unfold from that. I have a lot of people telling me oftentimes, "Oh, I can't do this and I can't do that, and no time. Oh, it's won't make any difference." I say, "Okay, that's why the man and the people, the humans, that is why we are so powerful, that we can all have a choice to do something or not to do something. And once we choose whatever gonna we do, then after that choice comes so-called responsibility for those actions. So if I choose not to do, then I will never even know, will this stupid simple task help me do something? Oh, it's stupid, it's so simple. You can just, you can list the gratitude, you can write a letters to your parents, and it's not, I wrote a list, I wrote to my parents in my mind. No, sit in front of the blank paper and start, "Dear mom, I love you as you are," and then write her the letter of every single thing that you are grateful for living this life and being here where you are. So that kind of, for me, was easier letter. That's, I think I speak about this in my second podcast, when we were talking about the most important living person in our life. And that's me, that's you in your life, me in my life, that's me and I in every single life of us. There is not more important person than you in your life, not your children, not your parents, not no one, no one, no one, only you. Because if there is no you, there is nothing you can do. And you are called and you are born to do a lot of things before we go from here. So it's not that this time that we have, it's not time to fear anything. It's not time kind of, "Oh, I'm afraid, I'm monitoring this reality around me," and then it's not about the reality around you. It's about reality inside you. And how can I be strong enough not to fear world around me? I need to be rooted in the roots of me. And the only way to root yourself there is to meet your parents, finally accept them the way they are, and let them have their destinies. If I blame the lector and then everyone that follows me and know my story, you can just, if you are newbie to this or you don't know who I am, you can just Google it, and occasionally my story gonna pop up, because I keep telling how I ended up doing dogs, how I ended up in this world, how I ended up succeeding, and how whatever success in that world was, and how this fulfillment didn't came through that, even though I inspired, because I have an academy, I have students, I have so many people that always come back to me and tell them, "Oh my God, you helped me, you changed my life, you pushed me here, you pushed me there," things like. And more they were telling me those things, and more I was popular on the social media, in the industry, more I was feeling engaged in that life, even though I never met the people that were texting me, writing emails, thanking me for my impact to their life. More I was receiving of those, less fulfilled, more scared, more depressed, more not engaged and in tune with my life I become. So, and then when you know all about that, and I share, because I want you, if you identify with anything that I'm going through or I was going through, this is a way out. Not that I went out. I'm going out in front of you. I'm doing this with you. Again, I'm going through this by doing and meeting myself in front of the blank paper again, but maybe for the first time with the most honest me, Why? What changed in my life? My mom died. I faced the bigger fear of every child. My mom died. And when you have that experience, then you don't waste any more time of being scared of anything. Not any people, not any virus, not any system, not any president, nothing has to do with you rather than who you really are. And if we come back now to this point, the death of my mom pushed me to do things I was waiting for a long time. Oh, these products, it's not market. No one is pushing the products now. It's bad. Economy is how I gonna do? The people are scared. Oh, I gonna okay. Then the other one, opening the new adventure, joining this beautiful and amazing possibility when everyone is closing and moving online. We are going into the most amazing on-site adventure I ever experienced and dreamed of. Because that is how you force yourself to in tune with the divine. When you ask God to guide you and you communicate with Him, with yourself, with inner self, what is the solution for my challenge? What is the solution to my problem? Then you understand oftentimes it will be a scary one to do. But that is how the life is. The life is not about the joy in a club, joy in a Thanksgiving, and then joy of the Christmas dinner, and then digesting for 5 days, and then having all of those drama of going to doctors because I don't know, I overeated or I over this or I over that. That's not joy, because to every single one of joy of those there is a consequences. That is why we are paying. That is why we are so unprepared for this time, because we didn't do the homework. The people were telling us, don't drink so much soda, don't eat so much sugar, don't eat so much the fast food. It's gonna affect your health. And now here we are with affected health. Because, oh, we don't have time to eat healthy. Oh, we don't have time to cook. Oh, we don't have time to, oh, but just running in this world of consumption, and more consume, more to buy, more consume, more eat, more buy, more flowers, more TVs, more bigger apartment, more cars, bigger house, move more houses. Until when? What's the point? What's the drill? We didn't have a time to meet who we are, why we are doing all of this, what's the biggest purpose of my life, what's my destiny, and what everything I need from life. The God, give me this so I can do that. Not God, I want new shoes. I'm gonna feel so happy. And then you end up having 200 shoes. Shoes. So the problem is to be fixed, and that's an amazing thing. Some problems, and the problems usually you will see that the problem repeats. They repeat. There's something always happen and repeats over and over, and usually gets worse and worse and worse. Why? Because that's the point. The problem is there, showed to us, given to us by God to solve it. By solving the problem we have, we're going to expand the consciousness of ours that can't be done by no one. No one can expand the horizon of our consciousness rather than ourselves. And then the consciousness is, the consciousness of ours is everything. because that is how we pursue the life around us. And then whichever consciousness I have about something is going to fit my reality, my life, my truth. And how the consciousness is to be expanded only through learning and experiencing the learn. And then through a lot of temporary defeats without committing to failure. And if our life is challenged like that, that doesn't mind how long we need to do something. Once our story is done, then we can peacefully go. The way doesn't matter. So there is and then the scarcity, the fear vanishes. And that once the fear vanishes, then you meet your strength. And the only strength we have is in I-ness. Because I is here to do something. And then we got a body. So the body can move. I can hold this glass, or I can type something, or I can do something. So to put my soul and spirit task in motion in this world here and now, I need a body. And then my message was embodied in the body, but I am not my body. My body is my tool to fulfill the task of my soul and spirit. And we don't know what's after this. Is it hell or heaven, or it's a reincarnation? That doesn't mind. That literally doesn't mind. Either or need to be lived up to its fulfilled, up to its fullness. And then always, the only one we need to ask what to do now, how to solve this problem, is a blank piece of the paper, pen. Don't use this one that you can erase, because you're gonna challenge your thoughts. Oh, this is not good, and this is not good, or what should I write? The worst thing is to write, to face the blank paper. That's the challenge every single one of us has, because I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write to my mother. I don't know what to write to my father. I don't know who am I grateful. I don't know nothing. And then the bigger challenge for me in the beginning was, yes, to write a letter to my father with a positive mental attitude. That's very important. To see positive mental attitudes give us possibility to see the purpose in everything that happened to us. But if that would be a negative mental attitude, then I would be, oh, I was abused. And then I would keep going on and trying to see abusiveness in everything that happened to me. That I did for a quite long period of time, and didn't serve me nothing. It just make it worse. Until I didn't, the last thing that happened to me was that I had a great friends, and I was just so dedicated to those relationships. And then I was dedicated, but maybe I was not honest to them. And then I put them together, so we worked together. And then out from that relationship turned to be the two of them made much stronger and deeper connection and relationship. And then anymore, I was not belonging to that picture. So when I came back from a little, I had a little break, and then we had a little break. So I went to a little trip, When I returned, it was completely different world. I didn't belong there anymore. And then I was first I was shocked. Then everyone of them tried to say something, or they didn't say nothing. So why they are turning on me the way they do? In the way actually no one turned on me. It was just the way everyone saw this relationship entanglement should be resolved, and everyone resolved it in their own behalf, what's actually completely legit. But that set me alone, and I felt alone, abandoned, betrayed, and that was a feeling that didn't give me enough strength to move on. And then I said, like, what, how do I turn this into a into a into a victory, into new me? How I gonna keep moving on, and how I gonna try to find what's best and why this is in best of my interest, why this is happening to me? And then again, why is everybody's against me there, blah, 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 blah. So that, of course, it was like short period of time I was crying to myself because I didn't have to whom anymore. And then I wrote to paper, and I said, what is to be done here? I said, open yourself first to yourself. That was my homework. And then I stayed. Of course, we are still in kind of touch, and then we had some sort of the relation. We spent some time together. But I had a lot of alone time. And then somehow I was doing exactly this, what I'm kind of just going through this podcast. And I was starting with my parents. I was starting with my gratitude. I was starting with a list of the people that impacted my life. Both of them are very high on the list. I knew they are on the list because at that point when I put them on a list, they were like ruining my life. But when I forced myself to see what's there good for me, and started to feel grateful towards those people that pushed me on my right path. Oftentimes, we just don't want to go. We don't want to go to our right path. And then what happened next? In the same that environment, we are talking like a days after I started to doing all of this. I meet new people, but completely new people out from nowhere that opened me completely different path that I couldn't even imagine. And that's what actually is taking and took me here. And all of this, I was dreaming when I was a child. And without that event in my life, I couldn't really finally switch the path towards this direction. And that's why the problems are so important. But oftentimes, we don't want to solve the problem. We would rather sell our soul to the devil just to have it as it was. Just to have it as it was. So when everything of this is happening, just a second. When everything of this is happening in our life, what actually you can't do is that's the problems are our path to the God. And he's the only one, or she, or no matter how you're gonna, which sex, or it's not a sex at all, it's just kind of gender, it's not a gender, genderless something, this universe, something that's actually a geese and is a source of our life, source of the source before any source, transcendent source of our life. There is the answer. How to fix this? Please help me. But then when you start getting the answer, don't get afraid of them, because the answer might be you need to divorce, or you need to move out of you need to move out from this country. How are you going to move out? I don't have a strength to divorce. I tried. It's always bad. I can't resign on this job. I can't close my shop. I don't know how to. And then if we don't do that on time, if we stay forever there where we do not belong, then the God finally tries to make us sick, gives us a real problem to try again. Not to kill us, but you will see, keep reading about these miracles. It's not a miracle, it's a life. If the message gets delivered by the illness, the miracle becomes a healing, but not only on the body, but of the soul as well. Because the soul finally gets a chance to move towards its salvation. And then that's where this world around us meets the God. And it's for real. We can't deny it. We can deny it. But then you have all of these material people that were working with a material world. Tesla, Pupin, Einstein, Plato, even philosophy. I call them philosophical, but let's call these ones that were, Edison, Napoleon Hill, the founding fathers of this beautiful country. All of them said, even the what's his name, even the Carl Gustav Jung, the founder of this beautiful psychology of consciousness, subconsciousness, collective consciousness, and how the man mind operates. Even he said in his interview, one of the last ones, I was wrong by thinking all of this can be done only with us, only by the man mind. There is something bigger than that. And now I don't challenge existence of the God anymore. I know that exists. And that's sad, but every single one of the scientists, you come to the point in every single one that challenge the God existence by wanting to prove that this world that we see is only one that we see. And there is nothing before and after that. They said, like, there is one point. The Tesla said, the Pupin said, Edison said, even what's his name, the guy that made the Tesla penniless, and then what was his name, JP Morgan. No matter how rich or which direction the richness go into the mental richness, so you get conscious about all of these wonderful laws of nature and how the nature operates, or you go through that. But also JP Morgan died of cancer. So there was something more, that all of that power and money should be in a use. He said, this is how I pay the price. We pray, after time we pray, God, please help me. And then after a lot of time you pray, and here is I got sick. But there is something sacred in that. Because that's a problem to be solved. And it's not going to be solved by the doctors. That will be the tool that we're going to allow in a process of our healing. But the body will heal as a result of the soul finally delivering the message to the mind, and the mind becoming capable and strong enough to push the body towards the real action. I don't know. Sometimes the only way to get us in connect with ourselves is a peace. And in this world that we live today, the peace sometimes is often achieved by being forced to the peace, by being, glued to the bed. And then we try. You have always those near-death experiences, and then the miracle happened. But then the challenges would be if the miracle happened and we hear the message and we hear what we need to do and we know what we need to do and we need to and we get all the answers we were looking for and we fail to do it because the devil, oh, don't do it today, oh, it's not a big deal, oh, you can do it again. You see, it's not a big deal actually being you did it, you were sick and now you're healthy. What's wrong? Let's do it again. You don't need to you prove yourself you can survive. You will do it again if that happens. And that what happens is actually we fail again, but every single time the failure oftentimes take us to the like a life defeat because there is just no more time. And mom told me, I can't stand this anymore. I just can't stand this anymore. But stand anymore, not her suffering with a illness, but what she need to do in order to not be sick. Because a month before she died, she told me, I told her, like, let's try this family constellation, and the body is always sick when we fail to do something. Let's dig deeper. Let's see why this is systemic, why this is, you entire life is just going around the heart, and just try something else. There is nothing to lose. And she said, like, I would rather die than tell some things. So she exactly knew the path she was on. And oftentimes we would rather die than do the healing stuff. And the healing stuff is never, it's always healing, but it's never from the ego perspective. It's not easy. And the church is always calling us to that too. It's all confession. Go to the priest and tell him every single sin that you consider sin, that you are ashamed of, or you don't know, or you're terrible at. You did it to someone, and then you now regret, and then you don't know, every single, and then something that only happened, Every single, and they said, like, every single action of ours that we are not proud of is killing us softly and slowly. And the God is always there. I forgive you everything. You just need to regret doing it, no matter what it is. No matter how, on which level of the sins that those are, you just need to regret from the bottom of your heart you did it, and to tell it to the priest. And there is some psychological, very big impact of the people telling, oh, I'm writing my sins and I'm writing down and I'm, going to talk, and then I go to the psychologist and then I try to talk to them, and then I tweak the story around the story, and then I actually tell something but I don't tell nothing. So I feel like, oh, I kind of, but when you get in front of the priest, someone that's gonna accept you in the name of the God the way you are, it's difficult to claim all of those things. Try, see how difficult will be. I don't know, are you religious or not? Or even if you are not religious, you don't need to go to the church or go to the church, because even if you think not an easy job, it's easy job, everyone can do it, just go try. Go do it. Or you can go to someone and then try to confess. If you that because the psychologists, they're all like, that's a modern science. The Gustav Jung and the Freud and all of those psychologists, that's kind of a easy time. Those people are still around, and it just passed. That's not so long ago. But before them, the same thing were done in churches and monasteries. Soul confession. So you go there and confess your sins, and that is how you would be told something. So if you don't want to go to the priest, go to a psychotherapist and try tell your sins flat, sharp, as they were, and regret them in your heart, and see how the big burden of uncertainty is falling off our shoulders. For all of those reasons, we have a problem. And only one reason the problem is in our life: to solve it. Every problem is solvable. You know why? Because we won't solve it by ourselves. We need to unite with our divine power, and to get out from that divineness the right answer of how to overcome this life obstacle, and what's the best for me in this circumstance, no matter how hard it is. You're going to see that every single time, even if we won't be able to do it now, for example, I get sick and I can't make it. It's oftentimes destiny of fulfilled way of doing it, because our freedom is to do whatever we want. Every single thing has its price. There is no free lunch in the nature. And everything we are living and experiencing is already a fruit of already planted seeds. Either we planted them or someone before us planted for us. So that is why the children as well, and we as well, experience something that's maybe came to us through our parents and their parents and parents of their parents. And it's finally time to be sold, because everything we do or we don't do, we do it or we don't do it for our kids. That's, for me as a parent, that's even more scary. If I have a kid and I fail to do my task, it's just gonna be extra task for them to do in their life. And that was an awakening call for me to start challenging myself to understand, am I here because it's easy, because it's nice, because I don't know better, or it's because there is something more I need to do through these things? And then finally, and it came into my life just lately, maybe a month ago, actually after my mom died, I was able to shape this perfect picture of why and what I'm gonna do with all of this. Not to spend it on the crazy vacations and with new bigger houses, traveling the world, enjoying because I tried. There is no joy in fulfilling the superstitious wishes of this world of extra consumption. There is no joy in that. But there is a joy in doing it, being on the path of salvation, and then doesn't matter how heavy is the crust you need to take there, because it's liberating. It's liberating either to the foreverness or into the new beginning, however you're going to call it, or end. For the agnostics ones and the ones that doesn't believe in God and this forever life and reincarnation and everything, for those ones that believe in this is it, that's even worse. That's even kind of more. That's even kind of more to do before we go. Because what I gonna count the pizzas, or what I gonna how I gonna count, how I gonna justify myself why I lived if I don't believe in nothing? There is no salvation, there is no foreverness, no hell, no this, no that, or there is no reincarnation. So I live the life in here. So this is here now, and it's end. How am I gonna justify to myself everything I did to myself and to the others? But when you add an extra after, whatever, so they're gonna be born as a butterfly next life, so I live one day only, or someone gonna, I'm gonna be born like some cow, and then someone gonna kill me and gonna eat me, or like a little pig, or like a new again, like a soul in the man with the worst life than I had now. Or there is, okay, this is it, and now let's wave. Are you for heaven, or you are for the hell? And then try to go there. But then, okay, do I believe in second coming of the Christ, and in do I believe, and how I gonna justify everything I'm doing today, no matter of how I think this gonna and should resolve? So as one of my mentors named Vlado Ilic said, we should live the life in its fullness, as today would be a last day. But we should also live it as responsible as we're going to live 1,000 years more, or 1,000 years more. And where joy is to be found, when I said, oh, let's enjoy the life. And then usually this consumption world would, okay, let's go to the bar, let's go to the dinner, let's go here, let's watch movie, let's eat ice cream, let's do something, let's buy something. So once we buy something, we're going to enjoy that, and then we're going to, we try that so much time. But when we finally say yes to the life, the way the life is, then we finally realize and accept who we are, shaped by all of those people that did us good and bad, if we can call anything that happened to us bad. Because if we would label anything like that, no matter how hard the experience was, if we label anything bad, then we're going to be shaped into a bad person. So I don't want to be bad today, so my future wouldn't be shaped by someone that is a bad person. And if why I would be bad, I would be bad if I would, for example, now try to blame someone that did something to me and accuse him for the hard life that I lived and everything that I experienced that was not, it's not easy and it was so hard, and this was my mother was my father left me, or whatever the story is. If I take anything for granted, I'm thinking again, I'm going to share this story again, I'm thinking that because of that, I want that person to pay for his price, what he did to me. And then I'm drinking this poison on my own, thinking that by me drinking the poison, he gonna die. And that's what I do. By drinking the poison that belongs to someone else, even if there would be a poison punishment, he or that or they would be to drink it, not me. But what actually is happening is by taking this poisonous cup in our hands and drinking it, we think actually that we are forced to drink. No, we do that by our will of not doing the homework. And the homework is, I love you as you are. Because there must be a reason why you turn to be a person as you are. And you hurted me, but it's time for me to move on. So I set you free, and I set my free with you in my heart. And now finally I can move on with my life. That's your place, and it's your place because you had that place in my life. You shaped me who I am. So you did to me things that shaped my heart. So now I'm going to give you that portion of my heart, but not more than that, neither less. And with you sleeping in my heart, I let you go. But most important, I let myself go. And then that's a task that we need to do. No one can do it instead of us. And then just watch life go on with the miracles. We're gonna just call it miracles. Those are not the miracles. That's how life is. Oftentimes we pay much bigger price because we don't want to move on. We want to belong to the places that the people doesn't want us. Not the people, the God doesn't want us to be. And then he tries to find the people that can push us away from there. And because we are scared, and that's what they said, the most successful people in this world said, the moment I agreed to temporary defeats, but not failures, I was doing everything. Maybe I was doing everything what I can do there with that resources that I have, with that circumstances that I have, and do whatever I was able to do then. Take an action there. Do the things. If this is the first time watching, try to watch the last episodes. You have them on sasharis.com/podcast. You have all of them on YouTube, Sasharis World. Do them week by week, one by one, and slowly enter this stage of this. How having a problems can be good for me is because the only way we can turn to God is to really have a problem that we want to turn into our heart and look for the solution. And in our heart, there is a solution. And the solution is there because that solution gonna push us out from the place where we are stuck. Oftentimes, that might be a weakness of the body, illness of the body, because they said like every single illness has its origin in the. I just literally read today because I was looking after this, problem of the asthma and this, pneumonia things and everything that's going on, and we kind of have all of these issues. And I was like having I was on some cleaning program for the last couple of weeks, and I got like a really big chest pain that was going on. Again, I prayed for the, and then the solution came, because yes, it was time to let my mom go, and I just didn't want to do that. And the moment I did a little prayer, a little task to understand, yes, she's gone, but she'll be forever in my heart. The chest pain, that strongness of the pain got released, but not. It's literally happened in between the night and the morning. My ex-wife also helped me in that, because she turned herself like, maybe it's time to let her go. But then why I was not able to breathe, and then I was reading and looking for the things like for asthma, or for all kind of things related to the breathing. And then the psychosomatic relationship to that is, I want more than it belongs to me. There is always need into, the great interaction in breathing is same amount of the breath and air coming in, and same amount going on, and that's a balance in giving and receiving. If I think that I deserve more and I want more for me, more and more, no matter what I think, how generous I am, how great I'm giving to everyone and I'm victim of everyone, that's meaning that I'm giving without positive mental attitude. No matter what I think I regret, no matter what I say, it's shown, my body is showing it, that it's not the way I think it is. And I was like, no, no, no. And then I said to myself, but yeah, Sasha, you are. You can't give life back to your mother. And you want her selfishly for you more than you have a right to. So, and then I did this little prayer. You're going to always live in my heart. I set you free, and I set my free. So the next morning, I was kind of able to breathe normally without that chest pain. So think and look deeper in the problems you have. Every problem is a solution on its own. It's something that will guide us and push us towards a path of our destiny. No matter how hard as it looks like, there are things that we can do here and now using all the resources we have. No matter how much money we are missing to do something, no matter how much, whatever is missing, looking like it's missing, it's there. We just can't see it because attention is on the problem. Oh, I have a problem. No one wants me. Everyone is against me. And that's what we get from life. More of those. Open your heart to the challenges, but with a positive mental attitude. If our illness would be welcomed as a message, no matter how hard, no matter on which stage, no matter where, if the destiny wants us to experience it that way, it needs to be done through the positive mental attitude. If everything that happens to me is welcomed to my life as a path of something bigger that I need to approach, something bigger than it's waiting for me. Maybe it's a heaven because it's time. Maybe it's something else that I need to solve, but maybe it's just a message that if delivered properly on the level of the soul, something like miracle gonna happen. And I gonna be kind of, be miraculously cured overnight. Don't ask anyone how to fix your problem, because no one knows your destiny. Neither us, a lot of us, me maybe. It would be like maybe too big for me to say, yeah, I'm in my destiny. I'm free. I'm doing everything. I'm taking my cross and I'm moving through this life and everything is great and everything is like this and everything is like that. Who knows? I'm trying my best. I'm praying and I'm kind of I'm feeling something that I don't have words for yet. But everything kind of looks like a puzzle that's kind of coming together. You got a problem? That's good, because it's a seed for the greater benefit that's on its way. Thank you so much for your time. See you next week. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas. Actually, yeah, this is the last last podcast session we had in this journey. See you next week. And the name of the next week would be Learn to See. So next Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern, we're going to see you at the same time, at the same place. I love you, and thank you so much.